Hey, hey, fellow gobshiders. I'm here to talk a little bit of shit today. One thing that I've not really spoken about a lot about yet, because that'd be bloody postie. Hang on a minute. Sorry about that. Because, hanging on to a 35 kilo German Shepherd that wants to eat the fucking postie. What day are we? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 4 days post gallbladder removal. Great idea. Speaking of which, this is how I'm healing. So my bruising's coming out now. I'm quite sore. And I'm still quite swollen. So most of this is all swelling. And yes, some of it is because I'm a fat shit, but I don't really care about that anymore because my body made a person and I'm nearly 40, so I'm too old to care about that crap anymore. All I care about is whether or not I'm healthy. One thing I've not really had a chance to talk much about because the channel's so new. Leela, that's enough. See? Posties in the street. If you've got a German Shepherd, you know exactly what this is like. She's mental. She's fucking mental. Anyway, I love her, but she's mental. So one thing I've not really talked about too much since I started this channel, but I've kind of brought it up, but I've kind of not talked about it, and I've been, involved in podcasts with my friend Diane, who is over in the United States. I've been involved in podcasts regarding Foo Fighters and the passing of Taylor Hawkins. Now, it's been nearly 9 months since our beautiful Taylor left us. It's no big secret that I've not coped. I've been a Foo Fighters fan for over 25 years. They've been together for 27. Well, not quite. Dave did their first album all on his own, so I've basically been a Foo Fighters fan right from the beginning, you could say. I've seen them multiple times. We're approaching 9 months since Taylor died. It's a well-known fact that I've not coped with it very well. Sorry, my son's just sitting next to me, so I'm just checking on him. It's a well-known fact that I've not coped with the death of Taylor very well. I've not handled it well. With all my mental health diagnoses, I have always turned to the Foo Fighters and their music for the good times and the bad times, and they've just always been there. And for a significant period after Taylor died, I wasn't able to listen to their music, and to a degree I still can't. You're not involved in the conversation, mate. You're too young for your own podcast, dude. So for a significant portion of time since Taylor died, I've not coped. I've genuinely, mate. Yeah, I know. Yeah, shove that in your gob. I've genuinely, if I go out somewhere and I hear a Foo Fighters song and I'm not expecting to hear it, I start sobbing. I went and I had the honour and the pleasure and the privilege of seeing The Darkness here in Brisbane in October. They were supported by the Southern River Band, who are from Thornley out of Perth. If you've not listened to the Southern River Band, get on their shit. They're fucking awesome. I love them. I went to the Darkness because Justin Hawkins, who's the lead singer of the Darkness, and Rufus Taylor, who is the drummer of the Darkness, they were both very, very close with Taylor Hawkins, and they were both very heavily involved in Taylor's memorial tribute concerts, both at Wembley and at LA. LA I haven't seen because it's a ticket holder only event and I chose not to watch it. Wembley I watched. I pulled an all-nighter. I stayed up from start to finish. Anyway, so I've not coped since Taylor died. No big secret. I'm legitimately receiving grief counselling because the Foo Fighters have just always gotten me through. No matter how dark times have got, the Foos have always been there. And with Taylor gone, nobody knows what's going to happen. And with Taylor gone, I just find listening to their music and hearing him drum, like, it's just... Now that he's an angel, it's changed me. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about. So I have previously dreamt of Taylor before. Not one of those fan dreams where you meet them and it's all like we were sitting in a room and he was wearing his board shorts and his singlet and everything was white and the only colour was a window. We were sitting at a table and chairs and he was sitting across from me and he had his left foot on the floor and his right foot was up against his bum cheek on his chair and he was leaning on his elbow as he was talking to me. And the first time I had that dream was just before I saw the Darkness. And Taylor told me to keep listening to the music. Don't let the music stop. Just because he stopped, don't let the music stop. And even though I'm grieving, he will forever live in us, in his music. So that was my first dream about Taylor. Anyway, last night, I had another dream about Taylor. We were in the same place that we were when I saw him last time. So it was a bright white room with a window, and the window, there was no glass in it. There's no glass in it, so there's just bright white everywhere except for this big window. And there was a table under the window, and Taylor was sat across from me, and he was wearing his James Gang hat and one of his singlets. And he was leaning across the table. And a couple of weeks ago I had a near miss a very near miss, to the point where I'm lucky to be alive, with a suicide attempt. I've spoken about that in another video briefly. But 4 weeks ago I attempted to take my life and I was very nearly successful. Last night I had my second dream of Taylor, and he was wearing his James Gang hat and he was wearing one of his singlets, and I didn't see what high tops he was wearing, but he was wearing a pair of his board shorts, and he was leaning across the table, and he said to me, "We're not ready for you up here. You got more music to discover. You got more live music to see. We don't need you up here. You're needed down there. You know, follow the music and get your head right, because you're needed down here. You're needed down there. We don't need you up here yet. Follow the music and get your head right." And I remembered it when I got out the shower this morning, and it really rocked me. So, as you can hear, what's wrong? Are you not part of the conversation? Anyway, so I guess that's my cue for this conversation to end. He has, just so you know, he has been fed and his bum has been changed. He just wants to be part of the conversation. So that's my cue to go so I can deal with my child. But yeah, I just wanted to share that dream about Taylor, because it's the second time I've dreamt of him since he died, and I'm so convinced that it was him. I'm just so convinced that it was him. Anyway, before my child starts screaming like a banshee again, I'm going to vanish. Whatever you're doing today, look after each other. Listen to some Southern River Band and have a good laugh.